Hello, welcome to another Creative Tap tutorial. Now today we're going to be doing some sort of handwritten effect with inside After Effects, so let me just show you what we'll be doing. If you are on the Facebook page, Creative Tap with 2 P's, then you'd be able to already see this little gif of what we'll be doing today. A little bit of a selfless, shameless promotion, but oh well. Or if you're on our Twitter, which is at Creative Tap 1, you would see this here as well. So that's just what we'll be creating today. I've rendered it into a GIF just to show it off. But yeah, some sort of handwritten effect like that. Now, let's get rid of them. The font that I used was from Dafont. I think I just typed in handwritten up here, searched, and yeah, it was this one, because I put preview in there. You can see how it looks with what you want to type. If you just type in here, and it was this first one I just used. So anyway, I downloaded that and installed that font, and then dived into After Effects. So you can use whatever font you want, but I just quite like that one. I mean, they're all fine, but this one, I was like, yeah, let's go with that. Anyway, let's dive on into After Effects, and we are going to create a new composition. So I'll call this handwritten type. Click OK. I think 12 seconds is fine. Yep, that's all good. Cool. Awesome. So the first thing we're going to want to do, right, is get the text tool, sorry, and type out whatever we want to write. So again, I'm going to go with creative. That's not how you spell creative. Creative. Again, that's not how you spell creative. Creative tap. There we go. Tapo. Why do I keep on misspelling things? Right, so I've got that and I can center it. Now I want to center it dead in the center. So to do that, I'm going to turn on title action safe down by here, and that's going to give me this little grid. So I don't want it to be outside of these lines, so I'm going to use my arrow keys just to move it directly into the center. Okay, and then that'll line it up perfectly, something like that. And I may just move this down, click and drag. There we go, in the center. That's fine. It's in between these two lines. It's perfect. That's what I need. So I'm going to turn this off now, this title action safe. So come down here and just unclick it, and it's looking a lot cleaner. Cool. So what we're going to want to do first and foremost is we want to get the pen tool with this layer selected, and we want to draw a mask around through the middle, sorry, of each of our letters. So I'll do the first couple of letters and explain what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. I'll do it up to maybe the T, and then I'll pause it and do the rest, and then I'll join you guys back. So I'm going to get the pen tool. So imagine if you were writing this now, where you would start. So I wouldn't obviously start, well, I don't know about you, but I draw C's from the top. So, and then when I do my R's, I come down and then come back round, start at the top, and then do that bit of the R. So we're going to do it like that, okay? So I'm going to click, and I'm going to click and drag to make a curve around the C through the middle of it. Maybe want to drag that into the middle a bit more. There we go. You can do it as messy as you want, but you want to make sure that you do get within the lines of the text, okay? So I just tend to take a little bit of time just to make sure. So next thing I'm going to do is come up to the top of where this R is, and I'm going to click some points to draw downwards. Okay, so you want to draw this mask as if you were writing it. Okay, now I'm going to come back up and come across and do this loop, because that's how I would come down and then come back up to do that if I was writing it. Okay, so you just want to kind of think about it like that, and then I'm going to click and drag and come into this little crevice in here, and then I would sort of have my pen down on paper. I'd then come back out and come back down. Next, I think if I was drawing this, I would start at the top of the E, and I would come down. Let's do that. Let's draw that a bit better. That wasn't very good. Something like this. Something like this. There we go. Then I would probably start with the top one, top line, come out, and then you don't want to go back across the middle of it like that and then come back out. Okay, you want to go around, just because when we animate, it's going to animate along this path, and so you just want to make sure that you don't cross back over. Okay, so I'm going to come back round, come down, and then come out of this little bit. Again, I'm going to come back round. I know it looks a bit messy, but don't worry. And then finally I would draw this bottom bit. like so. I'm going to redo that last point. Didn't like that. There we go. Okay, now with the A. Did it again. Cool. Now with the A, I'm going to come down here and draw up. Maybe get that curve in there a bit better this time. So click and drag. And then I'm going to come down. There we go. And I would probably draw it from this side of the A, the middle bit, whatever you call that. And yeah, something like something like that. Cool. And I'm going to pause it here because I need to do the rest of it. If you want to move, if you're zoomed in and you want to move across, all you have to do, hold down the spacebar and it turns into a hand. You can click and drag and then take your hand off the spacebar and you can keep drawing. Okay. So I'm going to pause it and then I'm going to join you back once I've finished. Okay, welcome back. I'm just finishing off this P on the end of the word tap. So I'm clicking and dragging and I'm just going to show you, I just wanted to show you the end instead of like saying, oh, I'm done. Just wanted to make sure you saw the end. So the last bit to be drawn is this little bit by here. So I'm just going to click by there or click maybe more round up here so it gets it more central. Yeah, there we go. And simply, I'm just going to click off by here. The mask is still there. If we click there, you can see the mask finishes there. Okay, so let's go back to fit this. Let's zoom out. So we can see I've got my pen going a bit mental, but that's the nitty gritty work done now. So I'm going to go to Effects and Presets, and if you type in stroke, you can click and drag this onto your text layer. Okay, and then in settings, let's turn this little icon by here, turns the mask path off so we don't actually see the mask path, that purple thing. However, we've still got a white line there, and that's because our stroke effect is looking at mask 1. So if we turn it off, you can see it doesn't do anything. But we've now got a stroke along where we've drawn all those points. So what we want to do is, yeah, we want mask 1. The paint style we want to change to a reveal original image, which what it's going to do, our stroke is only going to show up where on the original image. So this effect is on the creative tap text layer, so it's only going to show up where that text is. So if I click reveal, it's only going to show up, and you can see it's very thin, it's only going to show up where that text was, because if we turn the brush size down maybe to 1, you can see it's going to get even thinner. Okay, so it's only showing up where the white of that text was, and you know that does look quite cool. But I'm going to push mine, okay, up to maybe 3 until it reveals all of the actual text. So maybe let's go 5. I think maybe let's go 6, because again, if you look at the top of the T by there, there's actually a thicker line up there. So let's zoom back out just so we can see the whole thing. Let's go 6. I think that's probably it, maybe a little bit by there. So let's go 7. Okay, I think that's fine. Let's just try 8 to see if there's any improvement. Yeah, and I think I'm not going to go bigger than 8. 9. No, it didn't do anything. There was no difference. So let's go 8. Yeah, we're cool with 8. Right then. That's the nitty gritty stuff done. So what we want to do, I'm probably going to come to about 1 second, and you've got this start and end point. Okay. Now if we cycle through these, you can see it writes on and off, which is cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the end, because we wanted to write on from left to right, I'm going to bring the end down to 0, and I'm going to give it a keyframe at 1 second in. So if we hit U on this layer, we can see there's now a keyframe there. By 4 seconds, I want it to have all drawn in, so I'm going to go to 4 seconds and then change this to 100. Okay, so between 1 and 4 seconds, it's going to be writing in. So let's preview that back. Okay, there we go. It's caching in now, so you should see it play. It's not playing in complete real time, but you can see things are writing in. Okay, and there's a couple issues there, which I'm going to take a look at in a minute. Let's go to fit and let's change this to half just so it goes a bit quicker. There we go, and it's writing in. Right, okay. So I don't know why the text went up there then. Bit of a bug. If we look at, let's go back to where it's writing in the A. No, somewhere by here. There we go. Right, so in between the frame I'm currently on and the frame before, you can see there's a little bit of a bump by here, and that could be to do with the thickness. So I may turn the thickness down from 8 to about 6. Yeah, and that's probably going to save it. It's not, and you're not going to lose any quality either. It's just going to be a little bit thinner, and that's one way you can do it. You can always go back into the mask, and you can move the mask. If you turn it on back here, you can move the mask points around. So, you know, if I move it around, you can see it's going to have an effect, but I'm not going to do that because I don't need to. But that's two ways. You can turn the brush size down, make it a little bit thinner, or you can just move the brush, move these points, but I'm not going to do that. Now the final thing, 'cause as you saw, mine had a blue background and there were lines coming in as well. Final thing I'm going to do is show you how to do that. So I'm going to make a layer, new, solid, and I'm going to go with, yeah, it's already got it, a dark blue solid. If you want the hex code, it's 253E71. But there you go, I'm going to go with that, click OK, and put this in the background. There you go, almost like magic. I'm just going to delete some of my memory because my computer's running a bit slow, so I'm going to purge all memory. There we go. Hopefully that'll speed it up a bit now. Also, I had two lines above and below, so I'm going to do that. What I did is I got my rectangle tool with a fill of this light blue. That's 99DFFF if you wanted it. Click OK. I'll come to when the text is all drawn in, and I'm going to draw just this rectangle below, like that. It is quite thick, but don't worry, it won't end up being that thick. And I'm then going to get this shape layer 1 and I'm going to duplicate it. So Command or Control D, and then I'm going to move this above the actual word creative tab. Okay, so there we go, it's taking its sweet time. But there, when I get it above there, we're going to use the same effect. We're going to draw a mask on this and have the mask kind of animate in from left to right. I think I'm going to move that down one. There we go. Is that maybe up a few? There we go. Right. So the issue you will run into here is when we go to draw a mask, we'll get the pen tool. If you were to draw just a line across, which is what I'm going to do, it's actually going to draw it as a shape. You can see it's got this tool creates shape. So pen tool creates shape on a shape layer, but we want to click mask, so we actually create a mask. So shape layer 2 is this top one. I'm just going to click here and then click here, holding shift to make a straight line. There we go. And I'm going to come to shape layer 1, get the pen tool again, and it's gone back to creating a shape. So we'll just make sure tool creates mask, click, and holding shift, click, and we've got masks on there. Okay, so same process as before. I'm going to drag the stroke onto this shape layer 1. It's then going to look for mask 1, which it'll find. And what we want to do, nice little autosave, thanks. What we want to do is again change this to reveal original image. Okay, and then it'll be a brush size of 2 and it'll reveal the image. So I'm going to turn this little mask thing off and I'm going to turn this up to 5, I think, so we got a thicker line. There we go. I'm going to copy this stroke onto the shape layer 2 and hopefully we'll get the same effect. We may need to, no, we don't need to reselect anything. Okay, so we've got that there, that's grand. Now we want to animate it again, so I'm going to start from 0 seconds and go up to 1. So first of all, this top line, let's have a look. We want the end to animate in, so we want to turn this at the initial point to 0. Okay, set a keyframe at 1, come to 1 second in where we want it to have finished. 1 second, and we're going to change this to 100, so that'll have animated in from the left to the right. Now with the bottom one, we want it to animate in the other way, would be nice. So let's take the start all the way up to 100, and that's going to, so that'll get rid of it all. Let's type in the word 100. Come back to the beginning at 0, set a keyframe for the start, then come to 1 second in, and we're going to change that back down to 0. Okay, so 0. Now that'll draw in. And then at the 1 second point, the words will start coming in. So we'll give that a little preview, a little playback, and we'll see how it's all looking. So I'll pause this while it previews in, and then you'll join me. Welcome back, everyone. I've got this rendered now. I rendered it because it was playing back quite slow within After Effects. So let me play that again for you. Nice little animation there, so that could be a title for anything really. Title sequence, YouTube channel, anything. This is quite often used in those, you see those whiteboard animation stuff, like explainer videos and stuff like that. That's quite often used there. But as you can see, we did it on a text layer, we did it on some shape layers. It can be used on anything. If you've got some clip art, which is an outline of, I don't know, a light bulb, for example, you can do it on that. It's got a wide range of uses. So I hope you found this tutorial useful, and I will see you in the next tutorial. Cheers for tuning in.